Good evening. Welcome to Skwat Tawks. Tonight we're going to be talking about Gresham's Law. And while we talk about Gresham's Law, you're going to be watching me do a squat workout here. I start out with about 5 sets of 10 with the empty bar, and then I follow that up with 3 sets of 5 with 135. And then I do 3 triples with 225. I do a double with 275, and then I do 2 sets of 5 with 315. So pretty good squat workout for me. We are continuing that squat challenge for 2022, which is squat 315 for as many reps as you can in a single set. And so now I'm at 5. Now, in full disclosure, I would like to say that I was wearing squat suit, squat bottoms on the heavy sets today. I'm pretty equipment agnostic when it comes to supportive equipment in powerlifting and lifts. So my hips were feeling a little tight today, so I decided to just kind of wear squat suit bottoms. It's probably been 15 years since I've thrown on any real supportive equipment other than a belt. But I just decided to give that a go today. You know, Louis Simmons passed away this week, and so just kind of in honor of him, I decided to kind of throw on some suit bottoms and give it a go, and it felt really great. I understand that supportive equipment and monoliths and things like that are really a polarizing topic in powerlifting, but yeah, I don't really understand that whole argument. I'm getting older, and so trying to protect the joints, and I have no qualms about using supportive equipment where I see fit. So anyway, join us on that squat challenge, 315 for as many reps as you can in a single set. If you have an interest, join us on that Facebook group, or message me if you have any questions. So today we're talking about Gresham's Law. And Gresham's Law is an economics observation that bad money drives out good money. If you look at currency, and if you look at coins, for example, it used to be that coins had precious metal content in those coins. And eventually, governments got wise to the fact that they could put less precious metals in coins. And what happens when you start to introduce coins with less precious metal content is that people start to hoard the coins that have the higher precious metal content, effectively pulling the coins with higher precious metal content out of the market. So the bad money drives out the good money. You can see this observation manifest itself in other things other than just currency. Sometimes you would see this happen, for example, in restaurants. If you go to, if there's a good Italian restaurant in town, for example, and maybe it's the only one, but then other restaurants start to pop up, and those other restaurants maybe aren't as good, but maybe they're cheaper, maybe they're more convenient, maybe the people that really love that restaurant, the good restaurant, start to go to some of the other restaurants, or the people start to flood into the one good restaurant. What happens is the diehard fans of that restaurant start to leave, and then the people that were kind of latecomers to the restaurant, who are satisfied with maybe a less superior product, end up filling the space, and then the restaurant's level of cuisine kicks down a notch to kind of match that. So effectively, bad restaurants can drive out the good restaurants. You see this happen sometimes in gyms. It used to be that gyms weren't as common, but the gyms that did exist were pretty substantial gyms. But with the kind of proliferation of 24-hour gyms and corner gyms and things like that, you see a lot of those bigger gyms that had a lot more equipment start to fall by the wayside. They can't keep up. You see this happen not just in businesses or markets that we're kind of used to, but also information. You can see that bad information drives out good information. If you go to forums, for example, message boards, social media, it's not uncommon for the bad members to drive out the good members. Trolls, for example, are rampant in a lot of social media. And if you were a part of message board culture, it wasn't uncommon for some boards to just kind of get run over by an army of trolls. On YouTube, for example, and fitness channels, it's not uncommon to see bad channels kind of drown out the good channels. And in the fitness industry, it's not uncommon to see bad trainers, bad coaches drive out the good trainers and the good coaches. So if you are a beginner, and if you are looking to find reliable and good information, it can be very difficult to find good sources of information. If you were to look across all of YouTube, and if you were looking in the fitness industry for people to follow and trust, it's difficult because the people who have slick marketing, the people who have controversial takes, the people that have slick thumbnails that attract attention, they may have many subscribers, and if you kind of fall into that trap of just following people with tons of subscribers, you can miss a lot of good information. Not necessarily talking about this channel. I've kind of resolved myself to to the fact that probably not going to have a lot of steady viewership anymore, and that's totally fine with me. But when I see great videos put out by, for example, Elite FTS, and they have maybe 15,000 views for a podcast that's excellent, while another, quote, content creator gets 100,000 views within a week, I sometimes have to wonder how people are choosing their sources of information. So, what can you do? What can be done in the face of Gresham's law, where bad information drives out the good? Well, I guess I would say to you to be very selective in your choices, and where you can root out some of those bad sources of information. Just cut them from your feed. Stop watching them. Stop liking them. Stop sharing them. Also, if you are looking for coaches, if you're looking for trainers, if you're looking for sources of information, I would look at their resumes and see who they've actually trained with and who they've actually trained for specific athletic accomplishments. What is it that they're selling? Are they selling anything much beyond a basic program? And does that program work for beginners? Does that program work for you? Would it work for anybody who's more than just a ranked beginner? Because it's pretty easy to get a beginner to make gains, but for intermediates and advanced lifters, it's a little bit more complicated. Look at who they've trained. Look at what they've accomplished. What kind of experiences can they share? How long have they been in the game? If they've only been around for 5 years or so, maybe you should dig a little bit deeper if they're new. Doesn't mean they can't have great content. It just means that sometimes time has a way of sifting out some of those less than super sources of information. Who endorses them is also something to look at. Are the people that endorse them also social media gurus, or are they people with legitimate pedigrees? And I think that's where I would leave you with dealing with Gresham's law. Be careful of those sources out there on the internet, because there are a lot of hucksters out there, and they tend to drive out some of the good content. All right, that's all I have for you tonight, and thank you for watching Skwat Tawks, and I'll see you on the next one.